and welcome to our first Studio 7 of 2014. We are so excited about all the possibilities that lie ahead as we work to find inspiration and style for our everyday lives. On today's show, we're cooking up a delicious meal that's guaranteed to become one of your family's favorites. It's grown-up hamburger helper, and it will rock your world. Also, in case you didn't know it, the braid is back. We have a stylist in the studio to show us the do's and don'ts for this popular trend. And as you work toward achieving your goals for 2014, instead of perfection, why don't we strive for progress? We're getting real, and it just might change the way you approach the life changes that you're eager to make in 2014. So let's kick things off today with a pop culture question. Have you noticed all the people of all ages who are wearing braids? I have to say it, the braid is back. And we're taking a closer look in today's Style File. Joining us now is Lindsay Navarrete from Plush Salon. You say braids are really all the rage these days.
They are. Everybody's wearing them, all ages. Just everybody, loose, messy, up.
And it's a quick, easy go-to hairstyle if you maybe don't get your hair washed that day, right? Not that that would ever happen to either one of us. But
No.
It's a quick and easy way to make you look
easy.
stylish. You brought along some models for us today and a stylist.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what we see on, we're going to start with Brianna.
Brianna has more of a bohemian, it's a looser braid. Really anybody can do it. It's basically just a regular French braid, like a modern day French braid. And she just has wrapped some braids around the side. I mean,
It's so cute.
Very easy, yes.
So maybe the thing here to do is, I remember as a child, my mom braiding my hair and it being so tight that, my skin was pulled, although that feels good sometimes too these days. But maybe the key is for those of us who are more mature, let it be loose?
Yes, looser. Looser is better. And honestly, it's easier. You're not as worried about getting all the pieces back. So it's just, I think it's easier.
And then you see a lot of people pull it down over the side. I really love that.
Yes. I feel like it's more flattering.
And then let's talk a little bit about the headbands, because I said at Christmas Eve at church, I saw a bunch of people with headbands. And my first question was, is there an age limit? Like, should someone my age, can I pull that off?
Yes, you could pull that off. Loose curls, braids, you really can go with the outfit, really. Don't just throw it on with anything.
It's a fun night out. It's probably not to the office.
Probably not. Maybe your office.
I can probably work out on here.
Yes.
Okay, and so Allie now is going to show us with Lainey a little bit about how she's braiding. And you call Allie the braid master, right?
She is the braid master.
And so tell me what she's gonna do with Lainey's hair today.
More of a softer braid also, something easy. She's just going to weave in some pieces. She's going to do a simple braid. Anybody can do this. A basic braid, and then she's going to weave in some pieces, just loose pieces, to make it messier, not so tight.
I love that. Now, one thing about braids is it takes some practice. So, I mean, you kind of, maybe while you're sitting watching TV one night, you sit and practice on a doll or on your child or on yourself.
A lot of people get online these days and look on YouTube. There's so many different places you can find braids and tutorials. I mean, basically anybody can do it.
This is a silly question, but I think it's important that we ask, how do you secure it at the bottom? I mean, are the little ponytail holders still the way people do this these days?
They have those little, they're like clear rubber bands. You can do that. You can wrap a hair around it and then bobby pin it. I mean, there's lots of different ways. If you wrap the braid up, you can pin the underneath up. I mean, it just depends on how you're going to braid it.
And messy, I think. Messy, not
messy.
Perfect is what we're really going for.
And that's easier.
Yes, takes the pressure off.
Yes.
Well, Lindsay, ladies, thank you so much for being here with us today. We're going to let Allie keep braiding, but this is proof that the braid is back. I'll tell you, my go-to style is just one little braid across the top, and I usually stick a bobby pin in it. And I get your approval for that, right?
Yes.
Okay, the braid is back, and we want you to enjoy the style. Thank you, Lindsay, so much for being here with us today. Up next here on Studio 7, you've probably already made a list of resolutions for 2014. And if you're like me, you've probably already broken some of them. So this year, maybe we should shift our thinking so we can actually accomplish some positive changes. Jessica Phillips is up next with today's Getting Real. Stay with us. Welcome back to Studio 7. Every year, many of us will sit down and write a list of things we want to accomplish or change or achieve for the coming year. But then we slip and things just seem to fall apart. Well, maybe the real problem is our expectations. Our relationship contributor, Jessica Phillips, is getting real with us today. And Jess, we've all done it. We start off, we are on fire, but then we make a few mistakes and it just all seems to kind of fall apart.
Yeah, I'm the worst about this. I get excited and then I give up.
Yeah.
And the first little hiccup along the way, I think, I've blown it. I've just blown it. And I think what Colin said last week when he was talking about New Year's resolutions was so true, and I echo what he says, is that resolutions are problems-based. We see a problem, we're going to attack the problem, and that's not necessarily how we should approach it. And so I think that instead of doing resolutions, write goals.
And that's your first tip for us today.
First tip.
Put it in writing.
Put it in writing and write goals and make them truly long-term and then the attainable step-by-step goals. So, okay, maybe my long-term plan will be, I'm going to lose 20 pounds by December 31st of this year. What am I going to do in January? Okay, I'm going to only eat out 2 times a week.
Right.
I'm going to go to the gym and lift weights 3 days a week. I'm going to run, the other 3 days a week. And then I'm going to write that down. And I do this on a calendar. I keep it on a calendar and I write all of it down. And sometimes maybe I'm going to write my food down or whatever. Or maybe your goal is spending different, doing a budget, but do it week by week and look at right in what is in front of you that you can handle today.
And I think it's interesting that you say that, put it in writing. And then we all talk about weight loss, but you hit it on the nail on the head, whether it's having an organized home, that's one of my goals or resolutions, is finding a place for everything, or staying true to our Bible study. I mean, we don't want to get caught up in it just being about weight loss. These could be goals for quality time with our kids or a movie night every week.
That's right. One of my goals is to get up earlier and earlier until I'm waking up at 5:15 every morning without problem. But I'm not going to set my alarm for 5:15 tomorrow. I'm going to set my alarm 5 minutes earlier than I did today. And I'm going to do that and back up until I wake up at 5:15 and it's not a problem anymore.
Let me know when that works out for you.
It might be June.
Okay, good. Well, that gets us to our second step, which is we're not shooting for perfection here.
That's right. We are always about progress. Lisa Turkhurst is the president of Proverbs 31 Ministries, and she wrote a book called Unglued. And she talks about how we, especially as women, we label ourselves, I'm always late.
Right.
I'm never organized. And then those labels truly imprison us, and we never get set free.
That is so true. It's that self-talk that can be so
It's so damaging. It really can be. And so she says life is about progress, not perfection. There was only one person who walked on water. His name was Jesus. I'm not him.
Right.
You're not him.
No.
When I get in the bath, I sink,
Exactly,
so
exactly.
I think that we have to give ourselves that pat on the back for the progress that we're making. And one of the best ways to do that is put some really great friends around you who will be your cheerleading squad, but will also kind of be the people that push you forward and hold you accountable for your goals, because they love you and they want to see you succeed.
Absolutely.
And that they're going to pat you on the back and applaud your progress, and they're not going to kick you while you're down whenever you mess up, because you're going to mess up. You're not going to hit it every time.
And that's the key, is being able to recover when you mess up.
Absolutely. Get back up and keep going.
The third thing you have is do something fun. I love this one. This is my favorite too.
Well, Brad and I have made it a kind of a goal every single year to pull out our bucket list. We're not going to start checking things off our bucket list when we're retired. We are not promised today or tomorrow. So we're going to live off that bucket list starting now. So one of the things that we've set as a goal every year is something fun, something we would like to do. Maybe it's a trip, a place we've never been, something we want to see or do. And we save for that. We get fit for that because we want to look good, feel good. We want to have money to spend when we get there, because ours is usually about a trip. We want to go somewhere. And so that's one of the things, is plan something fun on that set of list of goals.
And even little things like, I agree, I want to see Britney Spears, just so everybody knows that's another thing I want to do. But even if it's a pedicure or I started to see a scoop of ice cream. Maybe if you're organizing, not weight loss, but but even little things can help keep you motivated.
It really can. You got to give yourself those treats along the way, and so do those. Get the pedicure, get a massage. We need those things to
help us with the progress.
So you have permission from Jessica to do those things.
And go see Britney Spears. And go to church.
That's right. Jessica, thank you so much for being here with us today. We sure appreciate you. When we come back on Studio 7, how many of us love Hamburger Helper? Okay, maybe love is a strong word, but in today's Kiss the Cook, our special guest shows us how to make a gourmet version that's guaranteed to become a favorite for your family. Stay with us right here on Studio 7. Welcome back to Studio 7. This week's Kiss the Cook is extra special. We have a great recipe that will no doubt become one of your family favorites, and it's brought to us by a dynamic duo. You've all heard the phrase, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Well, today we have proof of that because we are in Renee Elford's kitchen with a very special guest, and we have been so excited about the opportunity to do this.
I have been looking forward to this for so long. This is my daughter Shelby. She's in from California, and she's an excellent cook. She has a blog that I talk about a lot, and tonight she's going to be sharing with us one of her staples that she prepares on her blog. So tonight, what are you making for us, Shelby?
Well, I call it grown-up hamburger helper, and that might sound kind of gross, but you know, it kind of reminded me of a gourmet version of that dish we had when we were children that we loved. And I have these ingredients in my fridge and in my pantry all the time. So that's what I call a staple, is something that you have on hand and you can throw it together really quick for those nights you're busy. So what we did first is we cooked the sausage here. It was Italian sausage. You can use Italian turkey sausage, Italian chicken sausage. We just used Italian pork sausage tonight. And then as it cooks, after it's finished, we added about 1 cup of white wine. Let that simmer.
I like it already.
Yes.
That's a grown-up.
That's a grown-up. You let that simmer until it's about halfway reduced.
Okay.
And then you add in about a cup of cream. Now, heavy cream. Now, if you want to make it a little less fattening, you can
We
do half and half, but we don't want to do that. So we do a little bit of that heavy cream. You also put in 1 to 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, and I like red pepper flakes. If you have kids at home, you want to probably not put those in because they're spicy.
Okay.
But some red pepper flakes and some salt and pepper, and you just kind of let it cook until it's kind of thick. You can see it's thick here.
Looks great.
And so then what you've done is you cook your pasta. We already have our pasta cooked.
Is it time?
Yes, and we're going to throw the pasta in.
All right, this is my job.
Yes. And one tip for cooking pasta is you let it cook until what they call al dente, which is almost done. So it'll still have a little bite to it, and then if you add it to your sauce, it'll finish cooking in the sauce, making it a little bit more flavorful. So
Shelby, do you add oil to your pasta?
I did afterwards.
Okay.
After you cook it.
You don't add oil when it's cooking, actually, because they say that it makes your pasta sauce not stick.
Okay.
So I add a lot of salt to the pasta water, and then it gives it flavor. So now we are also going to do cherry tomatoes and fresh basil added to the pasta. And I'll go ahead and start showing you this fun trick I actually learned on the Rachel Ray Show. And what you do is you put the cherry tomatoes, if you have to cut a lot at once, that's a lot to chop up. So if you get 2 like Tupperware lids or like takeout lids that have a little bit of a lip here, and you put them on the little lid here, and then you put the other one on top.
Oh, I'm liking this already.
This is her tip of the day.
You
yes.
grab a bread knife like this, it's long, and then you squeeze. Yes.
It would take me 30 minutes to cut those up.
There you go.
That is a great
So we'll
tip of
add
the day.
those.
Love that.
And we already have some here. We'll use Mom's little scraper to put them in.
We've heard about the scraper.
Mom's going to show us how to chiffonade basil quickly.
Yes, last week I mentioned the word chiffonade and how it's actually just little strips. And what we do is you take your basil, take your leaves and just stack them one on top of each other. Then you just take it and you roll it very tightly. Roll it up like a little cigar. And then you take your scissors and you just simply go like this.
And that's called chiffonade.
It's called chiffonade.
We learn something
It's
new
just a great
every
way to
week
chop your
here.
basil.
And we just add that fresh basil.
Oh, that's so pretty.
And then you just have that on warm while you're preparing the rest of your food. So we're going to make a quick Italian salad. I never buy homemade or buy store-bought dressings. I love homemade dressings. And so it's so quick and easy. So we're going to put in a half of a lemon. And if you'll hear me, that garlic. What makes this so good is you actually take a grater here and you grate the garlic.
I love garlic.
And so instead of mincing it, you're getting a really strong flavor. You don't need to use a lot. And then we're going to put in a little bit of the white vinegar. And I just kind of
This is a white wine vinegar.
It's not a
You eyeball it, right?
Yeah, it's not a perfect recipe here. You kind of do half of the vinegar and lemon to the olive oil.
Okay.
We're going to do some seasoning, salt and pepper and some dried oregano and a little bit of this Dijon mustard. And then after you mix these up, you slowly drizzle in the olive oil, and you do, like I said, half of the
Tell
olive
me
oil
when
to
you're
that.
through.
That's probably good. And then we're going to mix it in with some salad, and we do just canned artichokes. And these great little baby peppers that I love, they're sweet.
And you just slice those up.
Slice
oh,
them
they're so
up.
pretty.
And there you go.
Okay, so this is a staple at your house. Husband loves this?
Oh, he does. I love it because he needs a carb and meat and a vegetable for every meal. So this has the carb and the meat together, and I don't have to do 2 separate dinners.
Renee, Shelby, thank you so much for sharing. So much fun. You can find this recipe on Shelby's blog, which is called Look Who's Cooking Now. It's packed with great tips and recipes and lots of planning ideas, so be sure and check it out. One thing we love to do here at Studio 7 is highlight all the new places to eat and shop and enjoy around West Texas. This area is growing so fast it can be hard to keep up, but our on-the-move contributor Sharon Gaines is on a mission to scope out the very best places that you will love. Sharon, what do you have for us this week?
Well, I have managed to pick 2 out of dozens and dozens and dozens of awesome places that I hope that we'll be able to go and visit and enjoy.
Yeah.
So one of them is not new. It's a little more established, and it's in Midland, and it's the first one that I'll tell you about. Posh Pony Boutique in Midland. It's on the corner of Midkiff and Wadley, and it's got great reviews. On Facebook page, they have almost 20,000 likes, which is a lot for a retail establishment. They've got awesome selections of the latest styles. They are out with the old and in with the new, and today on Facebook, everything is 30% off online. So have to head in and check that out. They also send us a message from them to you. The Posh Pony family would like to take a moment to say thank you for supporting them throughout the year and being loyal customers. They had a great year, and they appreciate you, and thank you for helping them grow, and they look forward to meeting you if they haven't met you yet. So sweet. Thanks to Posh Pony. We appreciate them for giving us great style options for many years. Next up is a new boutique, Kensington's Closet. It opened in 2013. It's on 191 in the Parks Legato Town Center, and they also have great reviews. Okay, this is for sure Couture Kids. They carry the most adorable lines of clothing. Check out these shots. Such cute kids and cute clothes. Look how decked out these little miniature people are. On their Facebook page today, they give us a reminder to not miss out on some sales they've got going on lines such as persnickety, mustard pie, select Giggle Moon, and all holidays select files on sale as well for 40 to 50% off. So you don't want to miss that. Check it out. It's a great time to buy ahead for next year. I don't know how anybody can resist clothing called Giggle Moon and persnickety.
I love that. And both boutiques have great sales right now,
They
so
do.
it's a good time.
They do, and I didn't have time to bring any OCLs outside the city limits boutiques today, but later in January, I want everybody to stay tuned because I'm going to have one segment that's dedicated just to 2 or 3 boutiques outside the city limits in some of our area towns.
That's going to be great. Sharon, thank
Yes.
you so much for being here today.
You're welcome.
Still ahead on Studio 7, it's the 5 things that caught our attention this week. Find out what made the list next on Studio 7. Coming up next week on Studio 7, it is going to be epic. Let's be honest, most of us need to clean out our closets, but how? Where do you start? Well, we went straight to a pro for an intervention of sorts, and we're sharing all of the great information with you. It's the empowerment you need to purge and organize. Plus, we're in the kitchen with a yummy lemon chicken dish. And we're starting off 2014 on the right foot with a new segment called Taking Care of You. You don't want to miss it next Monday at 4:30 right here on Studio 7. It's time for this week's 5 things we love. A few things that make our lives just a little more interesting.
Hi, one of my favorite things is my chicken soup base. No longer do you have to have cans and cans of chicken broth anymore. Just add 1 teaspoon of this powder to 1 cup of hot water, and you automatically have chicken broth.
One thing I love is the HGTV Magazine. It is filled with everything from how to get organized to how to decorate your home. So many cool ideas.
One of my favorite things are these great battery-operated salt and pepper shakers. You fill them with coarse ground pepper or rock salt. All you do is turn them over and voila, you've got salt and pepper.
One thing I've loved for a long time is the Becky Higgins website. She has a great post right now about what to do with all your old Christmas cards, and I'll put a link for her instructions on our Facebook page.
One thing we love is cheer at Odessa Extreme.
Thank you so much for joining us this week on Studio 7. We hope you are inspired, had some fun, and we really hope you'll join us every Monday at 4:30. If you have questions for our contributors or some ideas that you would like to see us cover, visit us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And remember, we post new stuff all the time, so check in often. You can find a link for all of that at cbs7.com. On behalf of our team here at Studio 7 and our partners at Sewell Chevrolet, thanks again for watching Studio 7. We'll leave you today with some parting words from Dr. John Maxwell. The greatest mistake we make is living in constant fear that we will make one.